April 2nd, 1955. There was a young pilot flying on a routine navigational trip from the Barnes National Air Guard out of Westover. And he flew out, did what he had to do, and then he started losing communication with Barnes. And one of the communications from them, his last one was, it was snowing rather heavily at Barnes, so they asked him to land at Westover Air Force Base, a different base in the area. So he copied that. He was well above the clouds, and it was foggy, rainy, and snowy in this area as well. And then he was running low on fuel, rather low apparently. He lost communication with Westover, so he was obviously quite uncertain as to what to do apparently. So instead of trying to make it back without navigation and get lucky and possibly crash on a house or a school or a highway or whatnot, he didn't know really what to do. So one of the last communications he got from Westover, they advised him to eject. So he did, and he landed safely. He parachuted out safely, landed in the woods. When he came through the clouds, apparently he realized then he was out over the Quabbin Reservoir. Luckily, he landed in a patch of woods, not over the water. And he found an open spot, and he laid out his parachute to signal people to search for his plane or him. He eventually hiked out, made his way out to safety. The jet, it was a F-94 single occupant jet that crashed, and the jet crashed to the ground. There was no fire apparently because it was out of fuel, so there was no combustibles on board. But yeah, it all ended well in a sense. That young pilot, I'll put his name up here or here, he eventually had a really good career. He was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force apparently, and lived happily ever after. Must have been quite an experience though. But anyway, just a little bit more history. I'll show you around now. Alright, here's the crash site. Mostly aluminum and titanium, so obviously it's still here. It didn't rust out. If you hear gunshots, there's a sportsman's club shooting range as a crow flies about 2 miles from here, so pardon me. Even though nobody died here, it does have an eerie vibe. I think it's inherent with a scene like this, if you will. Very weird. I was out here once, gosh, it's gotta be like 40 years ago with my buddy James, and yeah, it looks the same. I'm sure over the years it's been scavenged by folks that don't respect things like this. Look at how it's all crunched up. It's all rippled and crunched. Wow, it's wicked sharp. It's pretty heavy. Can you imagine the impact? Wow. Here's a good portion of, I assume, is the wing, part of the wing, or a wing. All right. That's about all I got this week, folks. Just want to share a little bit more history about this area. I spent a lot of time up in this area hiking around. It's close, it's beautiful, and there's a lot of history here. Spring's on the way, obviously. You still got ice on the lakes and ponds around here, though, so it'll be a while before we get the canoe out here anyway. Can't wait. Got some trips planned, like I keep saying, but I'm looking forward to that and them. And so, thanks for tagging along. Have a good week. Peace. So this hike in to see the area where the plane crash is, or the jet crash was, it's only, I think, a little over 4 miles in, 4 miles out, 4.5 maybe. So it's not too bad of a hike. If you just want to come out quick and see it and not spend all day. But please respect the area, as always, anywhere really. Don't bring trash, don't leave trash. Whatever you bring out. That whole thing. I don't want to lecture people. But man, we got to appreciate these areas we got, folks.